What is going on, everyone? We are back in NBA 2K17, and today is the first episode of our Detroit Pistons MyLEAGUE. Now, we have this separate series going where we're doing the realistic rebuilds, but I wanted to take a team and turn it into a little bit more of a long-form series. So I'm taking the Pistons, and this is a team that maybe was rebuilding a season or two ago, but at this point, they're very, very close. It was a playoff team last year, and I think are very close to being contenders if we can just make possibly a couple moves, bring in a couple players, and that's what we're going to try and do here with this series. So let's take a look at the roster here. Andre Drummond, the man, 87 overall center. This dude, a monster, rebounding, blocks, doesn't really have much of an offensive game, but he is going to swallow up any ball that comes near him. At point guard, we're going to have Reggie Jackson, our probably top scoring option on this team, also leading the offense. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, shooting guard, very good defender, kind of in a point at his career where he either needs to develop an offensive game or risk losing his spot in the starting lineup. He has a little bit of a mid-range, can kind of slash, kind of reminds me of a poor man's DeMar DeRozan, so we'll see if he can develop over the course of the season. We're going to try and develop him if we can. Marcus Morris, one half of the Morris twins, 76 overall small forward, can kind of play that small forward, power forward spot. Tobias Harris, similar, also kind of the small forward, power forward spot. We're going to go with a little bit of a smaller lineup. I'm playing Harris and Morris, gives us a little bit more of a three-point shooting option, so this team should not struggle too much to shoot, because Harris, a sneaky good three-point shooter, Morris can hit the three, Caldwell-Pope, more of the slasher, mid-range guy. Then we have Stanley Johnson's going to be the sixth man coming off the bench, another very, very good defender, but really no offensive game to speak of, and that's what's going to separate him and Caldwell-Pope, why Caldwell-Pope is in the starting lineup and Johnson isn't, because Pope's offensive game is a little bit more developed. Aaron Baines going to be the backup center. He's a good rebounder, but like Drummond and the rest of our big men, not much of a low post game, so that's something we're probably going to have to try and address. Ish Smith, backup point guard, very quick, decent shooter. John Lure, another stretch big man there. He can step out and hit a long shot if he needs to. But again, not much of an interior game. Reggie Bullock, former Tar Heel, actually not bad, 71 overall, but he can shoot the three as well. So we definitely are good on the three-point shooters. Boban Marjanovic is an interior guy, 7'5", big man, former Spur. He can rebound like nobody's business, but again, not much of a low post game. Darren Hilliard, small forward, and actually this is the point in the roster where this is where the playing time probably stops. Marjanovic is going to be the third center, and then Hilliard, Ray McCollum, and then we get to the rookies, Ellenson and Benajay, who probably, I'm not really sure where these guys are going to fit in. Benajay, another guy that can shoot from distance. Ellenson, as you can see there, kind of reminds you of Kristaps Porzingis, but no interior game really to speak of. Needs to bulk up a little, needs to develop. Both those guys need to develop. And then looking at this team, the strengths, weaknesses, rebounding, obviously very good. Post defense is good. The offensive and defensive IQ, both good. But looking at the weaknesses, low post offense, non-existent. Playmaking, fairly non-existent. Reggie Jackson, maybe the only guy that can really be good at creating his own shot. Blocks, which I'm actually kind of surprised at that because we have guys that can get blocks. The mid-range scoring, though, not great. And then the perimeter defense is not great, which that also I'm a little confused by because Caldwell-Pope and Stanley Johnson are pretty good perimeter defenders. So I'm not as worried about that, but I am worried about the low post offense and the playmaking. So we're going to see, and really the best way to really see how this lineup is to play a game. So we're going to play the first game here against the Raptors. And that is also a key difference with the other series that we're doing is that I want to be able to play some games, be able to show some gameplay. Now that doesn't mean we're not going to be simulating. I'm not going to play 82 games. That would just take way too long. So we're still going to simulate quite a bit, but we're going to pop in, play at least one game an episode just to kind of see how the team is doing and see some gameplay against some of the other NBA teams. So this first game against the Raptors, honestly, I have no idea how this is going to go. I have not really played a lot of practice games with the Pistons, so we're going to have to figure out how this offense is really going to work. To start this first game, I just set the play calling to auto just to kind of see what kind of offense that they have, that they normally run or that the coach thinks we need to run. And apparently we're going to start it out with a post-up of Tobias Harris, and actually he's going to try and use his feet here as we have Patrick Patterson on us, and we're going to just miss that first shot as Harris. I'm actually not sure how good of an off-the-dribble shot he has. I think of him more as a bit of a catch-and-shoot sort of guy. But on the other end, Kyle Lowry, we know what he can do as he's going to put a shot up. No, he's going to get it back to Patrick Patterson, and he's going to hit the three. So the Raptors are going to hit the first shot of the game. But here, Lowry not taking care of the ball. It's going to be a turnover. Caldwell Pope with it out to Morris, and he is going to hit that three. First points of this Pistons season are going to go to Morris, as on the other end here, it's DeMarre Carroll hitting the three, as it's all threes so far in this one. 6-3 game. Jackson coming back here, going to get to Caldwell Pope. He throws it down, as Caldwell Pope does have the ability to throw a ball down if he needs to. Stanley Johnson also a bit of a more athletic player. But beyond that, in terms of the playmaking, as I said, in the athletic players on this team, as Morris is going to miss there. Drummond with the rebound. What did I say? This guy collects everything. He's going to miss, but Tobias Harris, another offensive rebound. He's finally going to get it in. So a nice little sequence there. The hustle coming from this team. But the playmakers, the athleticism, not super high, as Caldwell Pope able to hit a nice little mid-range jumper there as we hold a slim lead. But Patrick Patterson letting it rain here to start, as he is perfect 3 for 3, 8 of the 11 points on this team. But we're going to hold a 14-13 lead. We're midway through this first quarter, as it's going to be Carroll with the miss. Andre Drummond with the rebound. Reggie Jackson, heading the other way, and he's going to get it to Caldwell Pope, but he's going to lay it in. So I'm liking the start from this offense. The Raptors concerned. They're going to call a timeout. But I'm liking what we have so far, as here an interesting decision by the defense to, well, I guess they didn't really decide to double. It was just poor off-ball play there from Patterson. Lets Tobias sneak down and gets the slam. 21-16 here, a 5-point game, as the Raptors, their offense, I think they're having some issues trying to figure out what they're going to do here, as Sullinger just kind of chucks up that mid-range fall away. That's not going to be good. So Reggie Bullock coming down as the backups are in the game here. Baines down to Lure, and he's going to use his spot to do a little fadeaway jumper, and that is just going to trickle in. Nice shot there, as it's 25-18, last minute and a half of this first quarter. It is Powell in the corner. He's going to let it rain, and he's going to hit again. So the Raptors having some success from the three-point line in this game, as now it's Joseph backing up to the three-point line here, as he is going to have to take the shot at the end of the shot clock. Hits it as well. So the Raptors coming back here. It's a 4-point game now, last minute, as Reggie Bullock going to find his way past his defender, lays it in for his first, actually not his first points. He's actually got 6 points here. Nice start there from Reggie Bullock. Told you, he has the ability to score. I think he'll be a key guy coming off the bench here. Tobias Harris is going to find himself down low, gets the shot and one, as we'll extend that lead. We're in the second quarter now. It's a 6-point game, as we have the starters back in. Perfect pick and roll here, as well, we miss it, but if we can get that going, we should have the opportunity between Harris and Morris running the pick and roll. That should be money for us all season, especially with Reggie Jackson, as it was Caldwell Pope running it there, as Ray McCollum going to get some minutes here, as I'm trying to get more of the guys, some of the guys that probably most of the season aren't going to get any minutes, some minutes in this one just to kind of see what they have to offer, as Bobin, I'm not really sure how you say his first name, but he gets beat there and gets the foul and one, so it's back to a 3-point game. We're going to kick it out here to Tobias Harris, and he's going to hit the three. 12 points for him now in this first half. Nice first half, 5-9, just the 1-3 though, as here we're going to kick it out. Stanley Johnson, wide open mid-range. You better hit that. Yes, he does. That's his first points of the season. He's got 3 rebounds as well. Reggie Jackson, haven't really seen much of him on offense so far. Just 3 points for him, as the alley-oop going to go down there, but he does have 5 assists. And Reggie Jackson, not one you would normally think of when you think of assists, but he's actually doing a good job of it here. And I did realize in that first half that we weren't really focusing on him too much, as look at Andre Drummond flashing some down-low play. He's got 7 rebounds. Gets the N1 and doesn't make the free throw. Andre Drummond, not a good free throw shooter at all. Ish Smith here in the game at point guard, and he's going to find Andre Drummond in the pick and roll again, working to perfection, as that's another spot where in order to really probably get Andre Drummond points, we're going to have to do it through the pick and roll with him flashing to the basket for alley-oops and things like that. But here, final minutes of the second quarter, Ish Smith, can you make the shot? No, just off the mark. So we go in. We had ourselves a nice little run there to end the second quarter. We have a 10-point lead going into halftime. Harris with 14, Patterson with 13, as we have the edge. No steals or blocks for the Raptors there. We did a good job of taking care of the ball. We'll see if we can continue that here, as third quarter the Raptors going to miss. It's 61-49. As Drummond with 11 rebounds. We're getting up there quick. Harris open. Excuse me, not Harris. Morris open. He hits the 3 for his 12th point of the game, as we've kind of pulled away a little bit here in the third quarter, but there is going to be a foul, and that's going to be a flagrant foul called on Andre Drummond. But here, still up 13, and at this point, I made a concerted effort to try and get Reggie Jackson some shots, and I did like to see there he does have that ability to create his own shot, hits that tough one, and then back down again. We're right back at it. Reggie Jackson trying to break down the defender, and another difficult shot. He does have that difficult shots badge, which is good. He's going to need that one, and then here, Reggie Jackson taking it to the rim and throwing it down. As you can see, just like that, Jackson does have the ability to take games over, as Stanley Johnson going to take it and throw it down on Terrence Ross there. As we're now in the fourth quarter, still well far in the lead. And I actually was a bit disappointed in this Raptors team, as I was excited to play them for the first game of the season, just thinking of how good they were last year, but I was unimpressed with this one. This was not too hard to take the Raptors down. They didn't really show a lot on offense, as the pick and roll, again, that's the option you have. Harris does miss that, but that's the sort of looks I want us to see, as we got to keep defenses honest, because we have the ability to run the pick and roll and have them cut, or we have Harris and Morris who can step back on the three and take the catch and shoot, as Carroll here going to hit the three, as actually the Raptors coming back a little bit here. It's a 10-point game, 6 minutes remaining, as Morris trying to run that quick offense. He's going to miss, but it's going to be Drummond with it. We kick it back out to Morris. How about the second try? He's going to hit that one to make it a 13-point game. Reggie Jackson now up to 18 points. He's got the double-double, as you know what, let's make it 11 assists, as he finds Harris for the short little jumper there. Andre Drummond, look at that. He's got 18 rebounds. We're trying to get him a double-double, but he's trying to play some defense here, as that is going to be a nice shot, but Drummond takes it down. We're headed the other way, and Caldwell going to go coast to coast. Lays it in, as Caldwell Pope looking good. I said kind of a poor man's DeMar DeRozan, the ability to slash, maybe even a little of a Dwayne Wade sort of thing going on there. And then the final buzzer, Smith just tossing one up, makes it. It's a 108-91 win, so we win this season opener. Feeling good about this Pistons team. I think there definitely is some more work to be done. I think we got a little bit lucky catching the Raptors on a bad day, as some better teams in the league will give us more trouble. Reggie Jackson going to be your player of the game. 18 points, 12 assists. I was impressed with Reggie Jackson. Before I started this, I thought maybe we trade Reggie Jackson at some point, but I think he is going to be a key player on this team. Morris, Harris, Jackson, all going to have 18 points. Caldwell Pope with 16. Andre Drummond with 20 rebounds. That is not going to be the last time you see him with over 20 boards in a game. He gets 12 points for the double-double. Reggie Bullock comes in sparingly. He's going to grab 6 points on 3-5 shooting. Everyone really shot pretty good here. Ish Smith, 3 of 7. Johnson, 3 of 7. But still, those guys didn't get a ton of minutes. As you see, we did try to get everyone in the game. Everyone got their opportunities, as Hilliard late got a couple of minutes. And then for the Raptors, as I said, they didn't really show much on offense. Their leading scorer was Valanciunas with 15. So disappointing from the Raptors, but the Pistons, impressive, as we pick up a win in the first game of the season.